Hey ladies, this is Fumi from freespiritfumi.com. Definitely check out my site. The link is in the description box. So this is going to be probably a three-part video series because I have a lot to tell you ladies. This is going to be basically a video to warn you about the tricks men use and just general man tips, because some of you ladies don't have women who are going to sit you down and tell you these things. You should not, and for you ladies who have friends and you're good friends to them, do not wait until she's in a relationship to start giving her advice. Most of the time, when people start dating on their relationship, they're so in love that they're not thinking critically. I can tell you from experience that men are constantly sharing information with each other, and they're constantly teaching each other the game, the dating game. They're constantly helping each other learn how to get over on women, whether they have someone or whether they don't. Us women, we really need to start talking to each other about what to look out for and telling our story so that other women don't fall for the same thing. So this is going to be a warning video because I'm off the market since I'm married. And when you're off the market, men tell you what they do to single women. So a lot of you single women, it doesn't matter how old you are. I've been around men who are 30, 28, 25, 20, 40. And because I'm married, they will tell me, like my associates, some friends, some associates will tell me what they do to you ladies. And it's just, I had a conversation with someone last night that really was just like, well, I got to put this video out here so you can know what's going on. Okay. Now, I actually befriended men like this years ago, and I'm no longer friends with them, but I've befriended men like this, and you need to watch out for this kind of man. Beware of men who study psychology, sociology, and philosophy, especially psychology, and beware, as a hobby. And they're going to tell you this. Now, men who go to school for it and want to help people. Now, some of the people who do go to school for it will also, you need to be aware of them. They're even worse because they've studied it extensively. But this type of man, he studies psychology, he studies sociology, he studies philosophy, he studies body language, he studies these things, the art of people. Now, this guy's going to be very arrogant about this quality. He's going to constantly bring it up. He's going to let you know on the first date. He's going to say, yeah, I know people. I love to read people. I love psychology. I like to da-da-da-da-da. Now, you're going to be like, wow. Oh yeah. No, you do not need to be. I wouldn't even date this kind of guy. What I've had male friends who were like this from years back, and I got to know them. They use, especially the ones who go to school, they tend to study those three, and then they tell you and they're bragging about it. These men learn psychology to manipulate women. They do. They learn it so they can manipulate you. The moment you sit down for your date, he is paying attention to everything you do and say, and he's using his archive knowledge to manipulate you to get what he wants. He's using tactics to get you to run your mouth to find out about you so he can manipulate you later. So watch out. And the easiest way to tell the difference between a guy who just likes it and a guy who's like this, I'm warning you about, is that he'll brag about it. It'll be like, you can tell he like gets off like when he talks about the fact that he can read people. He thinks he can read anybody. He thinks he's so, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've had associates like this, but I've had friends, I'm no longer friends with them, but I've had friends who are like this. And all the guys who study this stuff, they're not necessarily the pickup artists, people, those sites. No, they don't even need those sites because they know psychology, so they don't have to go on PUA sites. They are like walking PUA sites. So beware of men who brag about that. I wouldn't even waste your time. After he tells you that, and then some of the other things I'm going to tell you to look out for, I wouldn't even waste your time. Okay, moving on. Cougars. Now, most of the cougars that I've been hearing about are older single moms who just kind of want to get laid, and they don't want to deal with the hassle of trying to find a man, so they just get laid with like 20-year-old men. First of all, these guys are telling everybody that you're a whore. That's what they're telling you. They call you a cougar, but you're really a whore. Because these men are whores. These little boys or young men, 20-year-olds, oh my goodness. There's a reason why women go for older men, because men who are their age, who are in their early 20s, aren't really anything to look at. Mainly because they are whores. You cougars who date these 20-year-old men, what you don't know is he's sleeping with other cougars, and he's sleeping with women his age and women younger than him. And guys nowadays do not wear, they don't wear condoms. They don't. Like, I had a guy was telling me about a cougar he slept with, and he's sleeping with at least over, he's He doesn't wear condoms. So when you're sleeping with this guy, you are risking your life, your health. It's disgusting. When you sleep with someone, you are exchanging your life energy with them. And a man who sleeps with multiple women, and a man who's gonna be with a cougar, and that he does call you a cougar. He doesn't call you by your name. He calls you a cougar. Um, Men who go for drastically older women are only using you for money and sex, or either or. And it's just so disgusting, mainly not because you're sleeping with a man who's younger than you, but because younger men are so slutty, and they're so young, so they have no standards. They have no standards what they sleep with. So it's just, to me, it's just disgusting. But I just had a guy brag to me about a cougar he was with, and then it's not even about her being a cougar. It's like the fact that I know all the other stuff that he has done with other people. I feel, yeah, no. Moving on. Okay. Now, I don't believe that women should be judged solely based on what they wear, because of the modern fashion. Modern fashion these days, it's over. Women in general are over sexualized nowadays, but the clothing itself is over sexualized. They make the clothing see through. They make the clothing so that it fits you and hugs all your curves nowadays. And they've actually tricked women into thinking that just because you have it, you show it and you flaunt it. Just because you have it doesn't mean you have to show it and you flaunt it. And tell your daughters, tell your nieces about this whole thought thing. And I've noticed that there seems to be a new word for women every year. There's a new word degrading women. Thought, chicken head. You know, when we were little, when I was little, it was like chicken head and stuff. It was all these like little names to degrade random women. And I've seen men walk down the street and look at girls, and I mean like 15, 16, 17-year-old girls. One girl I saw, and they're just going to the pool wearing, pool clothes or beach clothes, and people say they're thoughts. Basically, when we hear the word thought, he's saying whore. It's just a word for whore. So tell your daughters to cover up your body. I was with a guy, and also you older ladies, I'm grown. You look like a whore, okay? You look like a whore, or AKA a thought. And that's how men think. Now, progressively, we want to say, a man shouldn't look, or da 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 da. What I found is, despite feminism and despite progress that women have made, I'm going to tell you how men think for the most part. They judge you based on how you dress. Period. If you dress and you show your cleavage and your legs and your back, they're going to think she's showing all this skin to sexually arouse me because she wants sex. And if she's doing all that and I don't even know her, I can have sex with her, therefore she's easy. I'm serious. That is exactly where it goes. I was sitting down with an associate and we were talking, and out of nowhere he just said, "Oh, look at that thought." And I turned around and there was this beautiful young girl. She looked about 25 years old. She had on a black shirt, regular black shirt, but she had on short shorts. But it's the summer here, and it's the fashion. I know the fashion. It's the fashion to wear shorts. I don't wear short shorts because I'm married, but I don't show that much skin anymore. But they were regular shorts that women wear that you get from Forever 21, regular shorts. She had a regular shirt on. She had a very natural face, very pretty. She wasn't looking around looking like a prostitute. She looked like a regular girl, just happened to go out for drinks, or, it was at a Fridays. Come on now. And he was like, "She's a thought." And I was just looking at her like, she's just wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And he was like, "She's a whore." And I was just like, wow. And even my own husband's made sexist comments like that. Like, he's seen random women getting ready to go out dancing, and they're wearing dancing outfits. And he's like, "Yeah, that's the whole little whores over there." I'm just like, wow. And it really just appalled me. But that is really how guys think. Guys really do judge you. The more skin you show, the easier they think you are. They think that you are intentionally sending messages to them that I am only good for sex. That is the reality. And I don't like it. I think it needs to be changed. I think men need to be re-socialized and changed, because there's a difference between looking like a hooker and looking like an ordinary girl wearing shorts during the summer because it's hot outside in a t-shirt. But nowadays, unfortunately, I'm reporting to you based on what men have told me, not based on my opinion, not based on what I would like. But men, when you show cleavage, a lot of cleavage, when you show your legs, yes, when you wear short skirts and but they're shorts, guess what? That is how they interpret it. Leave some stuff to the imagination. Even casual, "Oh, I'm just going to the store." It doesn't matter. And nowadays, that is what men do. They look at you, and his friend said the same thing. This is an ordinary, beautiful young girl just wearing regular clothes, and they called her a whore. And I'm not saying it was right. I'm just telling you, for the ladies, if you don't know, you can follow the fashion trends if you want to, but unfortunately, things have not changed with guys. Like it's like women back then didn't show us much skin for a reason, and unfortunately, due to patriarchy and sexism, yeah. So basically make sure that you show less cleavage and even your legs. And it's not even like, oh, because men think you're a horse, don't wear what you want. You can wear clothes that are fashionable and look good, and you don't have to show everything. You don't. Empowerment doesn't mean you have to walk around half naked. And half naked doesn't mean you look like a stripper. Half naked, like there's no reason for you to be walking around with shorts so short I can see your underwear through, or I can see your butt cheeks. That's just disgusting. And that's the trend right now. But I'm not going to go into a lecture on that. I'm going to move on to this information. Okay. A lot of these guys that have been sleeping with women, they tell me these girls don't require them to wear condoms and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go over what you need to do before you sleep with any guy. And I don't recommend you have sex outside of marriage, but I'm just gonna go for it anyway, assuming some of you will be having sex outside of marriage, to be realistic. Before you have sex, and this is the questions that this guy told me, none of the women asked him this. They did not ask him this. They didn't ask him any of these questions before they slept with him, nor did he wear a condom. And I'm not talking about multiple women and multiple guys that told me this. You need to know how many people he's had sex with. Later, once you've dated him a while, these are not first date disclaimers, it's not first date questions, but you need to know this for your safety, your health. How many people has he slept with? Is he actually single? Do not think because a man is getting your number, do not think that he's dating you and courting you like your Princess Diana, that he's single. These men are married, these men are in relationships, these men are on breaks. You need to ask him, is he single? If he says yes, ask him, is he having does he have casual sex? Is he having casual sex with other women? Is he doing one night stands with other women? You have to be very specific with these guys because they will not tell you anything. And if you don't ask, they won't tell you. Then they'll say you didn't ask. If you ask one question, they'll say, well, you didn't ask me that. You asked me this. You need to be very specific. Are you single? Do you have casual sex with women? How many women are you talking to? How many women are you dating? You want to date? Sure, let's date. But I want to know, how many women are you dating? You don't got to tell me their names. You don't got to tell me where they are. I just want to know, are you dating other women and how many? If you don't like the answers to any of these basic questions, don't waste your time. And if he's not willing to answer any of these questions, I dated a guy who I just asked him seriously, what are you looking for? Like, what are your intentions? Like, are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking to date? He said he wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell me what he was looking for. And the thing is, I said, you won't tell me what you're looking for? Like, that's such a basic question. And he was like, yeah, I'd rather not say. And I was like, well, I know what I'm looking for. And you're not willing to tell me what you're looking for. So let me guess. You're not and I told them this, literally. It was a guy I dated. Like, I went on one date with him. And I was like, so you're not going to tell me what you're looking for so you can maintain power and keep me guessing and have the advantage. And he was like, he was surprised. I saw right through him. He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, guess what? I have another guy that is interested in me, and he knows what he's looking for, and he's willing to answer my question, and he's looking for the same thing as me. So I'm no longer interested. Bye. Moving on. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Does he do one night stands? When's the last time he had sex? Before you have sex with any man, you need to know when's the last time he had sex, and when's the last time he got tested. You need to know these. You need to know these answers, because these guys out here, I'm serious, and now that I'm married, they tell me all their stuff and they are disgusting. I'm just so disgusted by a lot of these guys, and the women more so, for not having the standards. Okay, men, and why do I want you, and I'm gonna end this video soon because it's gonna be a 3-part video. Why do I want you to ask these questions? Men who sleep around a lot, these are not the kind of men you want to date or marry. And honestly, even how they say women with a past, women who've done this, there needs to stop being a double standard. We need good women, we need to stop accepting that it's normal for men to bed 50+ women before getting married. It's disgusting. It shows no discipline, and you're an STD risk. There's I don't know if any of you women watch the show Married to Medicine. And with Married to Medicine, there's a woman who's married. And her husband cheated on her before they got married and cheated on her during the marriage. And this is why you don't want to be with men or waste your time with men who have sex with multiple women. And some people are going to say, oh, it's normal for guys. I don't want just any guy. I would tell that's the kind of standard I would have if I was single. I don't want just any guy. I don't want just any guy. I don't want the average basic guy that's going to sleep with 50 plus women before we settle down. I don't want that. First of all, I'm sorry. And I wouldn't advise you to be basic like that either and just settle for a guy like that. So, okay. Men who screw a lot, they are more likely to have illegitimate children. I have a conversation with a guy. He has no kids. He could get married 3 years from now. He's slept with so many women, he doesn't even know how many. He does not know how many. So, any of these women, and he's not using a condom, ladies. He's not. So, he could get married in 3 years, completely change his ways. And one day when he blows up, he becomes successful, right? Knock, 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 knock. Oh, here's your kid. And women do this. They just drop the kid off and here's your baby. And what is he going to do? He has to take a paternity test. That, first of all, when you're a wife, that's absolutely humiliating. And this happened to the girl off Lisa Nicole off of Married to Medicine. And it just came out in the episode where her husband had random, he's wealthy, very wealthy. Husband had random chicks he screwed on his wife with, probably before, during marriage, I don't know. And they're like, yeah, he had to go to court to get a paternity test and it wasn't his. But it's like, why go through that kind of stress? Why stress yourself out? Also, when you're married or in general, women are going to want your man. Women, you're always going to have people looking at your guy. When you deal with men who are whores, who like to sleep around, you have more of a chance for his past conquests, previous exes hitting him up long after marriage and wanting to rekindle that. These women from his past are so used to him being a whore, they don't think he can be faithful, and they have no problem because they have low standards and they slept with him when he was in this period of whoredom. They have no problem trying to provoke him into going back into his old ways. Also, I even met a guy who was talking about if he got married, there's a woman he's talking to now that even if he got married, he'd probably cheat on his wife with. Absolutely disgusting. These type of men are disgusting. And many of these guys who sleep around, they even after marriage, they're going to cheat on you, and they're going to have a lot of whores that they've screwed over the years. Those whores are going to pop up and they're going to have so much great, it's just, don't mess with these men. Don't mess with these men. Okay. This is the end of part 1. And trust me, it only gets better. This video series, part 2, only gets better. So stay tuned for part 2 because I'm really going to get in how they get you guys, what they do to get you to, how they use you, how they manipulate you, ladies. Okay, so this is it. Check out my site, freesweatapumi.com. I am going to start offering consultations for women who are dating and who want to navigate this scene because I've been there and done that. It's not on the site yet, but I'm going to add it today for if you want dating consultation, like if you want to help with dating, or you're dating a guy and he's showing some of these symptoms and you're like, oh my God, I think my guy, and you want help with that. So I'm going to be on the lookout, and maybe it's going to be on my site today. I'm going to put an option there for dating coaching because don't waste your time. Okay. Well, that's it. Part 2 coming next. Bye-bye.